new.
Hey there! I've got a little test for you. What show do you remember when you hear this?
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Or this?
Kung wala ka nang maintindihan.
And this?
La 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 la. Romantic Sunday.
Great!
I'll be there for you.
If you answered Ang Probinsyano, or Friends, and Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, you're on the right track. Now just imagine what would be of these shows if they lacked music. They'd seem a bit bland, right? Well, to kickstart Jock Tune Season 3, let's talk about music and its crucial role in your favorite TV shows. You're listening to Good Music Makes Good TV with Cady and Archie. Giving you the best of music, this is
Jock Tunes Season 3.
Hey, what's up, besties? I'm Cady,
And I'm Archie,
and we're from the UPLB Jocks.
the premier media-based organization in UPLB.
And we're back for the third season of Jock Tunes.
The start of the season, we're going to talk not just about music and not just about TV, but music on TV.
This is episode number 1. Good music makes good TV.
Hey girl, what you doing? Hey girl, where you going? Shining yarn, a twinkly eye.
Some of your favorite TV shows may be cancelled, but we in Jock Tunes got renewed for another season. We're here to stay, besties.
That's right. We're here to stay, and we promise to give you more good stuff about music,
True. We always live up to the Jock's tagline, which is...
giving you the best of music.
Yes. So stay tuned for what's in store this season because we promise to give you all the feels.
That's right. For this season, we're giving you the best of both worlds.
Wait, is that a Hannah Montana reference? Maybe not. Because we're giving it the best of both worlds because we're not just going to talk about our TV shows, favorite TV shows, or just about our favorite music, but the music that we found from these shows that we love.
So going back to what you said earlier, the whole TV shows getting canceled thing, are there or were there any favorite TV shows that you like that have been canceled recently?
Okay, wait, clasps my hand. Deep breaths. Well, for me, one of the TV shows that I really like that has been canceled recently. Well, not really recent because it was last year. It's BoJack Horseman from Netflix, the animated show with the humanoid horse, because they canceled it. Gave it its sixth and final season. They say because of I think budget cuts, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I'm just really bummed about that because I just wish that Netflix give it at least one or two more seasons before ending it because there's like a whole story arc that can last for another whole season or maybe at least 2 seasons. But what Netflix did, they just condensed the whole thing into a 2-minute montage, and yeah,
Ooh.
that's it. And I just wish that, I love Bojack, pero I just wish that they could have punished him more. Yeah, more karma consequences from all the things that he did. Yun lang. Pero ikaw, what about you? Are there any shows that you like that has been canceled or ended recently?
Ooh, actually, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha ended last November
Mm.
17th. And I couldn't stop listening to its OST. Like, sobrang ganda kaya ng Romantic Sunday.
Mm.
Wow. Like, it makes me feel energized, less heavy. Let's go, Probinsyano life.
Don't keyword me bestie kasi ako personally, I've watched the pilot episode of Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha pero I haven't finished it. So yeah, it's in my queue. It's in my queue.
Okay.
Promise to finish it.
Doon.
Yeah, after the SEM, after I clear all my backlogs and INCs, gonna watch that. But yeah, since you mentioned OST, which is going to be an important word for this whole episode, take note of that, besties. I cannot help but think about how music is so vital in our favorite TV shows.
You know what, Tama? Like, I can't count how many times I have Shazammed or desperately hummed to Google to find a certain song. Like, super hassle, Tapos nakakahiya namang i-hum ko kay Google kung ano yung kantang yun. Luckily, I discovered Shazam talaga.
Wait, ano yung Shazam? Is that like an app where you can like hum or sing gibberish, then instantly the website or maybe an app, is it an app, will identify
Yeah.
which music is that? Oh, that's
Parang
amazing.
i-record niya, like
Mm.
the first, hindi naman first, like 5 to 7 minutes, it's gonna record whatever song is playing. And it's gonna look for the song for you, so you don't have to hum, parang ganun. Super nice.
I'll take note of that kasi ako personally, I'm too lazy to search for songs from episodes from shows that I like. So yeah,
Mhm.
Shazam. So as mentioned before, this whole episode is going to be all about music on TV. And when talking about music on TV, we can primarily say that we can divide them into two. First is the OSTs, and second
Mhm.
is the score or musical score. But just score for this episode because there's a film
Mga
score
tipong
which
5 over
is
10.
going to be discussed in another episode by Michael
Mhm.
and Maureen. So watch out for that. But yeah, there's OSTs and there's musical score. And I think we should talk about OSTs first because I think it's known more in comparison to scores, I think. Like when I say OSTs, people just actually get it, most of the people. But yeah, what is an OST? An OST is simply a selection of recorded songs that accompanies a film or a TV show. But in this case, a TV show because this is an episode about TV shows. And it can include original songs or pre-existing songs that, it plays during the show, or it can be
Mhm.
also specifically recorded for the show itself, like made for the show itself. In simple terms, let's just think of OSTs as the songs that we hear from TV shows that most of the
Mhm.
time features lyrics. So if there's lyrics, if you can sing along with it, it has a like pop or rock song structure. 100% of the time, that's an OST and not a score. Pero ayun
So
nga,
true.
that's an OST. Katie, what's a score on the other hand?
5/10. No? Okay. So, musical score refers to the original music that accompanies a TV show or film.
Mm-mm.
Like, siya usually yung mga instrumental, ganun. Yung pang-heighten lang ng emotion. Pang-create lang ng oral mood for the scene. Tapos, scores are traditionally instrumental music nga. So, they're
Mm-mm.
written by composers, performed by an orchestra, or a
Mm-mm.
string quartet, or,
Mm-mm.
group of musicians. So, eto
So
na.
for newbies, I think when you hear bombastic cymbals in a string section on the background of a television
Mm.
show, that's basically the score.
Yun na yung score.
When you hear a pop song or a rock song with lyrics, that's an OST.
Basta may lyrics,
Yeah,
OST.
OST.
Okay, so Archie, true or false?
Mm.
Music in TV amplifies certain scenes in television shows. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, pero um, we're, gagawin pa natin trailing, pero we all know that it's actually yes, music and television amplify certain scenes in television shows. Maybe not just certain scenes, pero like the whole show itself, kasi it adds identity to the show.
Mhm.
It accompanies or like amplifies nga. It makes things 10 times better. The visual aspects of the show, the story of the show, and even the performances of the actors. If there's music in it, may it be OSTs or scores, it becomes 100% better. As in, for me, I don't
Tama.
know for you, but for me, that's the
Yeah, for
thing.
me din, sobrang mas heightened yung emotion kapag
Yeah.
may mga score, gano'n.
Totoo. Okay, we had a crash course, or is that a crash course? Or we just
Oh,
we just we just
facts lang.
we just discuss
Share ko
about
lang.
the short definition of what is an OST and what is a score. Pero if you watch a lot of TV, you may well know that different kinds of shows from different countries have their own unique approach with using music for television. Like for
Mhm.
example, local Filipino shows, the way they use music, OSTs and scores, it's different from how K-drama or how Western shows approach music on TV.
Oh, that's a really good
Mm.
insight. Ang napansin ko, when it comes to local Filipino shows, they
Mm.
always get their soundtrack from existing or very popular songs.
Totoo. And one example that I can think of, and I know
Mhm.
that you can also think of, Bestie, is Wag Ka Nang Umiyak from Ang
Tama!
Probinsyano.
Kung wala ka nang
Wait, Huwag na tayong mag-ululan dito. Ayun yung una nating naiisip.
We love
Lahat.
you, Gary V.
Yeah. When we hear the words na Filipino shows, OSTs all together, huwag ka nang umiyak. Yeah, that's a thing that we will think of instantly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what else? On the Wings of Love ni Kyla. Sobrang ganda. Pero,
On the Wings of Love from
yeah.
On the Wings of Love, the show.
Pangako sa'yo from...
Pangako sa'yo.
Galing.
Yeah, I'm sensing a trend here, diba? Parang
Tama.
the show titles, it's the OST then. Pero fan fact lang pala with Huwag Ka Nang Umiyak Ha, it's not originally a song by Gary V. It's originally by
Yeah?
Sugar Free. Yeah, if you know Sugar Free, the band led by Ebenencel, well, they're disbanded now. Pero back in 2008 or 2007, basta I was grade 1 that time. Huwag Ka Nang Umiyak used to be the #1 song in Mixed Daily Top 10 for like a week. Then suddenly, one time by Justin Bieber entered the top 10. Then for like under 3 days, it dethroned Huwag Ka Nang Umiyak in the daily chart. So I'm heartbroken because I love
So,
that
pwede
song.
ka nang
Yeah.
umiyak?
Yeah, pwede na ako umiyak. Thank you, Justin, for making me cry. Yeah.
No.
Wala lang. I love that song. My dad loved that song so much. And I was just, I don't know if I was happy or what when I noticed na one of Sugar Free's most popular song for a Coco Martin show.
Oh, pero like at the top of my head, na-notice ko rin.
Yeah.
Teleseries are always heavy ballads. Like I said kanina.
Mm-mm.
We love you, Gary V.
Totoo. We love you, Gary V. We love you, Angeline Quinto. All you guys from ABS-CBN.
Eric Santos.
Oo. But ayaw ba nilang sumaya? Ba't gusto nila palagi mabigat yung feelings ng isang OST? Bawal ba maging upbeat or bubbly lang for Filipino OSTs, di ba?
Baka pwede. Tulad ng Take me to your heart.
Ayan na. Yeah. Okay, KD, she sang for this episode. Clap your hands, besties.
Galing talaga. Got to believe. Got to
believe in magic. That's the song from the show titled Got to Believe. They removed the magic part. Yeah. Yeah, that's one song that isn't really like beat it and like ultra violence and ano lang tayo dito beat it, violence and piano lang. Yeah, that's one of sabihin na natin na more contemporary when it comes to style. In comparison to Huwag Ka Nang Umiyak or Pangako Sa'yo, all the Gary V and Ray Valera songs that are used for OSTs. And also one example that I can think of on top of my head is the opening theme for Ang Probinsyano, which is titled Carlo Dalisay.
Talaga ba?
Yeah, it sounds like an 80s or 90s glam metal song by Bon Jovi, that kind of style. Ganun siya. So, hindi talaga siya beat it or anything, pero pang rock and roll siya. Ika nga ng mga tambay sa kanto namin, ng mga tropa ko. Pang rock and roll siya. That's something na quite different then from the trend.
Oh, yun pala yung title. Like Cardo Dalisay talaga?
Yeah, the chorus literally is, ito na si Cardo. Ito na si Cardo. That's the lyrics of the chorus.
Andito na si Ki. Ano nga yun?
Hindi. Si Bong Revilla yun.
Ay, mali.
Parang si Kiko Pangilinan yata yung sasabihin. Yeah, nandito na si Bong Revilla. Okay, redacted siya from the show. Bong Revilla, we don't love you. Although, I think he has a new show in GMA. Yeah, I think like something about eagles.
So going back, what do we think are the good things and the bad things dito sa Filipino approach sa mga OSTs?
I think before we talk about the good things and the bad things about the approach of the local Filipino shows and OSTs, I think we should also recognize then kapamilya shows. Let's say kapamilya shows and not like local teleserye in general. Kapamilya shows, they have an abundance of songs to use as OSTs kasi they have Star Music, which is the music wing of ABS-CBN, their record label. There's also a wide array of talent in ASAP, the Sunday music show, because they have singers like Casey Tandingan, Gary V, Jed Madela, Eric Santos, who else? Angeline Quinto. So parang kukuha na lang sila ng okay, Angeline, we need kailangan ng OST for this show. So kuha si Gary V, kuha si Angeline. So I think that's one of the reasons kung bakit parang sobrang contented na nila with that approach is because they have enough talent to use for OSTs. Just reuse the old pre-existing, very ultra popular songs. Tapos, kuha na
Mhm.
lang ng new artist for a new interpretation of a song. For example, di ba yung
True.
On the Wings of Love, it was popular, tama ba? It was made popular by Ate Chona, by Regine
Mm-mm.
Velasquez. Pero now Kyla, yeah, Kyla sang it for Otwal, mga ganung bagay. Pero going back na dun sa good things and bad things about this approach ng local shows natin in OSTs and yeah, OSTs in music in general. I think most of the time, yung OSTs na sikat, natutulungan nila na mag-stick sa utak natin yung shows because they have, as
Mm.
mentioned, pre-existing songs. So,
Yeah,
when we
true.
hear songs like On the Wings of Love or Pangako Sa'yo or Huwag Ka Nang Umiyak, ang maiisip agad natin on top of our heads, oh, ayun yung show na may kanta na ganito, na ganyan. So it helps in making us remember
Mm-mm.
what show used this particular song. So that's the good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ikaw, para sa'yo, is that a good
Feeling ko,
thing?
yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Mm-mm.
Like, you can remember the song, tapos
Mm-mm.
ma-associate mo agad siya dun sa teleserye.
Mm-mm.
So, wow,
Yeah, pero
okay.
what's the not so good thing about that?
I think since the songs turned OSTs are already popular, yeah, like before the show existed, we can't help but associate the songs to other things aside from the show itself.
Yeah, para siyang not to be a writing major, pero para siyang double-edged sword. Parang ganun siya.
Wow,
It has
let's
its
go
benefits
somewhere.
and cons. Let's go commerce. Pero yeah, it helps nga na since it's a popular song, it helps them to be more well-known, stick to our
Mhm.
minds. Pero at the same time, parang it depletes it of its character kasi nga, sikat na yung kanta eh. So why use it for this show na bago lang? Parang there's a ton of other songs that you can use, di ba?
True, and there's a lot of
Mm.
writers. Like, ang dami-daming talents ni ABS. So,
Yeah,
you realize.
tama. Give me a show with Nangangamba as the OST. Wait, is that Tabudlo Star Music? I'm not sure. Pero yeah, something out of my mouth lang yun. Pero recent Filipino shows, particularly BL shows that
Mhm.
was aired during the pandemic, like Game Boys and Guys sa Pelikula, they are more Western when it comes to their approach and choosing your OST. Yeah, Western kasi, for example, Guys sa Pelikula's OST is composed of songs from younger Filipino artists, not not Gary V, not Ray Valera. They feature songs from artists like Kaki, bands like Of Mercury, Ben and Ben. Even the lead star, in Pangilinan, he has a song in the Gaya sa Pelikulas OST. And for the Game Boys naman, Game Boys OST, meanwhile, it's full of original songs na when you listen to it, as mentioned, hindi siya ballads, as in not heavy ballads, and more of like the genre of songs that you'll hear from modern indie Filipino bands like Autotelic. Ganun yung sound nila. So
Oh,
fresh.
I haven't watched Game Boys yet. Yet.
Yet.
My sister has watched Game Boy. So like,
Mm,
parang oo nga. I think I agree with you. Tapos feeling ko mas mag-agree ako
mm,
when I watch it, siguro.
mm. Yeah,
Pero, yeah, mas Western, you called
true.
it.
Mas
So,
fresh talaga kapag gumagamit ng ng songs na usually maririnig mo na rin on Spotify or TikTok tapos biglang nasa show siya na Filipino show. It's refreshing to have that.
I agree. Like,
True.
grabe. Mas malaki yung impact sa akin if ganon. Like, hindi ko
Mm.
alam yung song. Like, galing talaga siya sa Spotify. Tapos,
Mm.
ooh, cool.
Mm.
Okay, so since you mentioned Western shows on, how they do their OSTs,
Mm.
maybe it's time we transition to talking about Western shows. So
True.
tell me, Bessie, what's the last Western show you watched?
I think the last show from the West, from the West, I think the
West.
last Western show that I watched is also the last show that you watched. Mine was Sex Education.
Same. Wait, anong favorite scene mo sa Sex Ed Season 3?
Tinatanong pa ba yan? Joke. That's a line from another radio station. Sorry. Hindi kami yon. Pero unanimously, I think everyone's favorite scene from that season, the scene where Ruby and Otis were having a phone call. Then out of the blue, Ruby said, "I love you" to Otis. Then Otis
No,
just said,
no.
"What did he say?
That's
That's
nice.
nice." Yeah.
Oh, grabe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous and also devastating at the same time because I think 90% of the people they're rooting for Ruby Otis instead of
Mhm.
Otis Maeve.
Isa ako dun sa 90%. And
Yeah.
I was super heartbroken. I
Mm-mm.
was super heartbroken kasi like the song that was playing,
Mm-mm.
if you can remember, di ba parang romance song siya?
Yeah, it's Tender by Blur. They used the song Tender by Blur, which has the lyrics, "Lord, I need to find someone who can heal my mind." Then suddenly,
Grabe. And then suddenly, that's nice.
yeah, suddenly the someone who can heal your mind just replied, "That's nice" to your "I love you." So
Grabe ka na, Otis.
okay, Otis, pogi ka.
Edi wow, Otis.
Ikaw na ang sex god, ika nga.
Okay.
Wait,
So,
is that sex god? But sex kid pala yung tawag sa kanya, di ba?
sex kid.
Yeah, she's a sex kid, not sex god. That's, I think, another character.
Yeah. Yun yung yun ata yung yung nagpanggap na siya.
Ah, yeah, from the first
Yeah.
episode, yeah. Yeah, that guy who thinks that, everything's about the dick size when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah.
the S
That's
word,
the
yeah. I
one.
don't know if we can talk about that in this PG-13, PG-13 family friendly wholesome show, pero yeah, we said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. So while we mentioned that local Filipino shows kanina, they
Mm-mm.
overuse popular OPM songs sa OST nila.
Mm-mm.
I think Western shows naman, they focus or they make it a priority to use music that adds character to the show or that amplifies the mood tulad nung
Yeah,
Tender by Blur and how they put it dun sa pinaka heartbreaking scene for me
true.
ng entire season 3 ng Sex Ed.
Mm-mm. Well, there's the gas station scene where Ruby caught Maeve and Otis
Okay,
making
yun
out.
yung
Pero
second.
that's a runner up for me. Yeah. True, true. That's a second. Pero
Kasi yung
tama
third
nga.
yung kay
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah. Bakit kailangan palagi na may cheating angle when it comes to LGBT characters on
Bakit?
on TV series, ha? Pero yeah,
Oo.
it's
Okay.
heartbreaking.
Grabe, mga fans pala tayo.
Yeah, yeah. This is going to be a sex ed episode from now on.
Tama.
Pero yeah, I agree with you, Bestie, kasi parang they really thought about it, using that song for that scene. They didn't just, pick a random love song or heartbreak song, then, okay, call it a day. Ayun na yung song for that scene. Tender by Blur really, really fits that scene as in.
True. Kinuha nila yung song na mapapaasa tayo. Parang
Yeah,
gano'n.
tama. Yeah, when the song when it faded in, parang, oh my God, there's going to be and I love you too moment. Kasi ang ganda ng song, it fits, pero biglang blue
That's
balled.
nice. So, do you agree na somehow mas priority nila how they do their intros? You know how they always focus on
Mm-mm.
the intro of the series?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think that's
bumalik
really
yung moment ulit.
I think that's really a part of being a fan of Western shows. It's having a favorite intro from your favorite shows. Like as in when you talk about the shows with your friends, ang pwedeng may convo lang kayo na na pag-uusapan niyo lang, oh, alam mo yung intro ng ganito, ng ganyan. Tapos, yeah, that's really one of the main characters or like main things that reminds you of the show. Yung talaga, yung intros talaga nila. Ikaw, for example, what's your favorite intro?
Madaling-madali lang yan. It's I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts from Friends.
Muntik na
Wow.
akong kumanta. Muntik na kita magaya. I stopped
Wow.
myself. Yeah.
Grabe. So, no one told you life was gonna be this way?
Yeah, that's a pretty good song. It's a good pop rock song from the
Diba?
90s. Yeah. Muntik na akong kumanta. Binigyan ko ulit yung
Hindi,
sarili ko.
pwede na yun.
Okay, my turn. I think mine is not really a song. It's not a song with lyrics. It's an instrumental. Pero whenever I think of Breaking Bad talaga, I think of its opening theme. Yeah, parang with the simple melody and I think it's a very for a lack of better term, scientific in style. Like when I hear the when I hear the music of Breaking Bad, the opening theme, I instantly think of chemistry because Breaking Bad's all about drugs. I think about New Mexico. Basta ang galing lang kasi there's no lyrics. It's just purely instrumental. Pero whenever I hear that song, I instantly connote it with all the things about the series. New Mexico, Shabu, lots of violence. Yeah, those things. Amazing stuff.
Oh.
Mm.
So, parang score
Yep.
yung intro?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
more of a
see.
score. Going back to our OST versus score 101 kanina. Yeah, it's
Tama.
more of a score than an OST.
Pero you know what? I do agree. Like, when it comes to scores,
Mm.
parang nag-give off siya ng vibe agad. Tas
Mm.
wala pa yung lyrics, Like, for
Mm.
example, Game of Thrones, Ramin
Mm.
Djawadi, the musical director.
Mm.
So, siya yung gumawa ng Light of Seven. And if you know Light of Seven, sobrang
Yeah, everyone knows that scene. Oh, not gatekeeping, huh? Everyone, huh?
everyone, Chef's kiss, like Cersei, great sept of Baylor. See, not spoiling, sabi ko lang.
Mm.
And Wildfire. Wildfire? Grabe. Sobrang ganda. Sobrang ganda talaga. Ramen
True.
Djawadi, genius.
I love Ramin Djawadi. In
Mhm.
fact, Ramin Djawadi is not a student, pero he worked for Hans Zimmer, the one who does the scores for Christopher Nolan films. Kaya medyo may may similarities yung nila, yung style nila is because he
Mm-mm.
worked for Hans before. And also Ramin also made or composed the music for Westworld, the other HBO show, which is kind of like Game of Thrones if you like violence and effed up stuff. Yun. Check out Westworld if you're into that kind of thing. Yun. Yung opening theme ng Westworld is also by Raman Djawadi and wala lang. I can think of any words to describe how good it is. Tapos meron pa nung like accompanying visuals ng opening theme na pinapakita yung symbolisms ng series. Wala lang. Ramen Djawadi, you're the
Yes,
man.
you're
You're the
the
man, Ramen. I'm gonna name my next dog Ramen because of
man.
you.
I'm gonna name my next dog Djawadi. Tapos ang hirap
Djawadi,
si
yan. Si
Sip
JJ
Djawadi.
na. Djawadi, yeah, it's Djawadi.
Pero you know what? I watched Game of Thrones nung high school.
Mm, me too.
Tapos, ano pa ako nun, nakikiborrow ng, what's that?
Hard drive? Flash
Hard
drive?
drive? Tama.
The hard drive,
Yeah,
yeah.
nakikiborrow pa
Yeah,
ako
you
ng
borrow
hard
hard
drive
drive, yeah.
ko. True. Tapos, what else? I think nung high school din ako, it's when I started liking K-dramas.
Mm.
I-airdrop ako ng episodes ng Weightlifting Fairy noon. Parang kasi 'di ba wala pang Netflix before, like there
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
Netflix before, and wala, ang hirap mag-download. But I had this classmate and her sister, siya yung nagda-download.
Mm.
And I was like, puwedeng pa-airdrop, gano'n. Hanggang sa natapos ko yung Weightlifting Fairy nang ini-airdropan niya lang ako at Legend of the Blue Sea.
Yeah, those are the first ones talaga that made not really the first ones, pero I think in recent memory, Legends of the Blue Sea, what else? Weightlifting Fairy. Ano ba yung mga bago recently? Descendants of the Sun, Dots, yun. Like they really made
Ganda ng
another
dots.
like 2010s, 2020s boom of the K-drama scene. Parang sila talaga yung yung initiators, yung
Pioneer.
catalysts. Yeah.
So when did you get into K-drama pala?
Ako with K-drama, again, bestie. Don't K-word me, pero I only started watching K-drama when the pandemic started. As in, parang sinabi ko nun okay, I may die anytime, any day.
Hmm.
End of the world is so like imminent in these times, and isa sa mga hindi ko nagagawa during that time ng buhay ko is to watch K-drama. So I watched Itaewon Class because I have a big crush on Joyce. On that girl yun. So I only started watching K-drama last year, actually, last year.
Last
And
year talaga.
just so far I've only watched less than 10 K-dramas, I think.
Mhm.
Kingdom, Itaewon Class, what else? Extracurricular, curricular. Ang daming R.
Baka
What
naman Kingdom napanood mo na?
Yeah, I think less than 10 pa lang talaga napapanood ko. And I plan to watch Hometown
Sending you
Cha-Cha-Cha.
the list right now. Char.
Yeah, make me a list. Yeah. Ano pa ba nasa queue ko? The whole Reply series yun. Ang dami. Oh my
Sobrang
God.
ganda.
Mm.
Okay. After the the
Mhm.
backlogs, and the
Yeah. And the
INCs.
INCs.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I will, I will.
Since I think you've watched enough K dramas,
Mm.
you agree na it's either or their OST. The songs are either melodramatic or upbeat. Like, napapansin mo ba yung pattern?
I think that's actually a good analogy kasi tama nga, whenever I watch K-drama, it's either I'm gonna sob myself to death, I'm gonna just cry to death.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or it's either, oh my God, life is so beautiful. I'm walking at the park right now with my dog, with my Shiba Inu and flowers on my hair. Life is good, everything's good, no
Mhm.
problems, skin cleared, ganong vibes.
True,
That's a good
no?
analogy.
From Hotel de Luna, meron Can You See My Heart? Tapos when I listen to it, parang,
Mm-mm.
feeling era.
Mm-mm.
Parang, aray ko be. Pero when napakinggan ko yung From Now On sa Weightlifting Fairy,
Mm.
tama, parang in love moment ko yun. Yeah, From Now On.
Yeah, hindi naman halata bestie na ano ka, na weightlifting fairy stan ka talaga.
Tama. Sobra, sobra. Thank you for being my rock nung high school. My rock. Okay. So you mentioned the walk in the park, parang
Mm.
ganon. Did you know na Korean scores,
Mm.
meron din siyang certain process? Like I read this
Mm.
article. It's on Nam Hye-sung. She's a musical director. Like she did
Mm.
the scores from Crash Landing on You, Record of
Oh, kind of like the Ramen Djawadi of K-drama.
Yeah, she's the Ramin Djawadi of K-drama.
Mm.
Sobrang galing. Because how she does it, she reads the synopsis, the script,
Mm.
And then, like, nafa-formulate niya lang sa brain niya. What tone would fit the theme? What song yung pwede dito bigla?
Mm.
And I'm like, you make music from your mind?
Mm. True.
Sobrang cool nun.
That's actually something that we should really appreciate kasi may
Mm-mm.
some music directors there, they just make music then call it a day.
So,
Okay, I know yung music for that series, pero with Nam Hyesung, she really does a great effort in making herself more familiar with the source material to make everything work, make everything
true.
make sense. So hindi lang siya, basta-basta nga tulad ng sinabi natin kanina.
We love you, Nam
Yeah,
Hye-sung.
props to Nam
Super
Hyesung.
galing talaga yung nakaka-create ka ng music. Like,
Mm.
naiisip mo lang, music. Tapos meron ka ng music? What?
Mm. Oh my God. On top of my head, naisip ko bigla on top of my head, bestie. Hindi pala
Mhm.
ito yung klaseng una kong pinanood na K-drama.
Ano?
Kasi I used to secretly watch Boys Over Flowers back in elementary.
Tama. Tama ako din. Pero
Yeah.
hindi naman like secretly.
Every for my case kasi in my case kasi secretly because some of my male friends, they're H word, the H word already.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to make fun of me if ever they found out na I'm watching K-drama about beautiful boys and a very cute girl. Yun. Kaya I
Grabe.
watch it secretly. Pero yun talaga, Almost Paradise by T-Max. So,
Tama.
song of the century.
Grabe nung LM ako, parang pag hindi mo siya napanood,
Mm.
wala. Hindi ka updated sa chika habang nasa kantin.
True.
Kung sino na yung violet natin of the week.
True. And that was aired every afternoon if I'm not mistaken. So, katatapos ng klase. Doon
Yeah,
ka
parang
diretso.
kakauwi mo lang.
Mm. I really love Almost Paradise, even though for more than 10 years, the only lyrics that I know is Almost Paradise. That's how powerful that song is. We've been talking about how OSTs and scores help in adding a character to TV shows, but Bestie, you know what's more cool? I know you know
Mhm.
what's more cool?
Ano?
Scenes where there's actually a song number or where the characters literally sang in the
Tama.
show.
Okay, I think B1, B2 moment tayo
Okay,
dito.
B1,
Alam
B2
ko,
moment.
Anong iniisip mo?
Yeah, okay. B1, naisip ko ba? Ay, B2, naisip mo, naisip ko.
Hulaan ko na lang.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're thinking about Drake Peralta,
Oh, yeah.
Brooklyn
True.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine cold open where
I want it that way.
Jake Peralta sang I Want It That Way. Okay. Disclaimer, we know that Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a propaganda, pero we're just talking about how funny the scene is. Alam namin
Totoo.
na propaganda siya, ha? Alam namin yon. Don't
Don't come
woke,
for us.
yeah, don't woke zone us. Pero yeah, I really love that cold open, that scene where Jake Peralta, parang nasa ano sila nun, di ba? They're trying to find out who
Nag-interview ng
murdered,
suspect. Mhm.
yeah, they're trying to find out who's the murderer among the suspects. Tapos, the only detail that the sister of the murdered person know is that the murderer was singing "I Want It That Way" when he did the crime, when he
Mhm.
did the murder. Then suddenly, the suspect that's so good with singing, he sang I Want It That Way, and yun nga, magaling siya kumanta. Then Jake Peralta, being Jake Peralta, sang
Na-carried
with
away.
him. Yeah, he was carried away. Parang from what I remember, parang tinuro na bigla ng ano ng sister
That's
nung na
him.
murder na that's him. Tapos Jake was like, wala
Ikaw
lang.
pala.
Funny pre-pandemic times.
Tama. Oo nga 'no, scene where there's actually a song
Yeah.
on.
Ikaw, what's your favorite?
Grabe K-drama na ulit.
Okay. Okay, that's okay,
Aloha.
bestie. There's nothing wrong with that. What again? Ano ulit?
Aloha from Hospital Playlist. Ay,
Mm,
napanood mo na ba yun?
actually, since hindi ko siya nabanggit kanina sa list of K-drama shows that I've watched, hindi pa. Pero my brother watches it, as in like
Oh,
all the time. He even watches the episodes that he already watched just for the feels, you know. Kasi
tama.
it's a very slice of life daw kasi, slice of life show. And
Uy,
from what I've seen when he was watching the show, ang daming scenes where they just jam in the
mm.
studio. I don't know if it's called hospital playlist, pero I'm not sure if it's about hospital or making playlists. I just know that there's scenes where they
Both.
sing, yeah, jam as a band.
Yeah, super nice nung Aloha. Nasa parang karaoke place sila, tapos
Mm.
nagkakantahan lang sila. Ay,
Oh my
ganda.
god, I miss Tresto nights.
Same. No. Sabi, oo nga. I miss you, LB. Please, I miss you.
To open the
Ay,
schools.
please, oo nga.
Mm.
So, I think with all of the points we've given,
Mm.
we can agree na music has become an extension of how certain TV shows make us feel, no?
True.
Parang
Yeah.
the music that we've discovered, parang napipick up natin from TV shows, they serve as a reminder for the
Mm.
feelings that certain shows gave us. Parang ganun.
True. And we say handy reminder kasi shows are like 20 minutes long, and like that's the minimum runtime.
Mm.
20 minutes. Tapos some shows are like 90 minutes long, like Reply 1988, shows like that.
Tama.
So we have the songs from the show to remind us of how or what the shows made us feel.
Mhm.
Yeah. And for me, one of my favorites, one of my favorite
Ito na ang favorite.
songs that I still listen to all the time until today is A Thousand Times by Rostam from Don't K-Word Me Besties, 13 Reasons Why. Okay,
Oh, napanood mo pala
disclaimer,
yan.
disclaimer, the scene that I'm going to talk about is superb, but the show
Mhm.
is whack, as in don't watch the show, not recommendable. The characters, they're okay. Chemistry of the characters, they're okay. Like there are
Mm.
certain scenes that are okay, pero the show in general, it's whack. The way they handled suicide and mental health, it's whack. Okay, so
Okay.
don't watch 13 Reasons Why. Pero okay,
Crossing it off my list.
yeah, scrap that off. Pero yun nga, the song A Thousand Times by Rostam, which is a really good song, ha. They used it
Mhm.
to this particular scene kung saan, wait lang, code switch bigla ng pangit. They use it in this particular scene where Clay, the leading man, the vocalist from Wallows, that guy, he daydreams about a future where he's happy with Hannah Baker, si Hannah
The
Panaderia,
dead girl.
the,
Oh, is
the
she the
leading
dead
woman.
girl?
Yeah, the dead girl.
Oh.
Yeah,
Damn.
context, Clay is daydreaming of a future where he's happy with Hannah Baker, and I think it's one of the most heartfelt moments of the show. And they
Mhm.
used 1,000 times in the very perfect way, perfect and the perfect example of using a needle drop for a show. Yun.
Mhm.
For those who don't know, needle drop is basically OST then, pero mas quirky. Yeah, wala
Pointing
lang.
was quirky.
Hindi ko talaga gusto yung 13 reasons why. Pero that scene with that song is just perfection. And
Mhm.
because of that show, which I'm not really proud of, because of that show, I fell in love with 1,000 times.
I've had that dream 1,000 times, a
Ooh, I'm gonna
thousand
listen to that
times.
1,000 times.
Yep,
Pero hindi ko pa panoorin yung 13 Reasons Why. Like,
true, wag na. Yeah.
papakinggan ko lang.
Just listen to the song, it's good.
I think naman for me, there's this song. It's Exile by Taylor Swift and Bon.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't my favorite sa folklore.
Mm-mm.
But then, when I watched Joe dragging Love's unconscious body across the floor,
True. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
sorry, spoiler pala.
Spoiler alert.
Sobrang ganda. Dina-drag yung unconscious body niya across the
Mm-mm.
floor. Tapos tumutugtog yung Exile.
Mm-mm.
Sobrang wow. Chef's kiss. Like, after that episode,
Mm-mm.
wala. Exile ang pinapatugtog ko for the entire day or week or month. or month. Pero yeah, it amplified Exile for me. Like, nagkaroon ng layers why I love Exile na ngayon. Parang ganun.
From what you're saying, instead
Mhm.
of just looking at Exile or listening, kasi song siya, instead of just
Looking at
listening
Exile.
listening to Exile as a Taylor Swift song only, after watching you, when you're listening to it, you can't help but think of the show, just connoting it to the
Mm-mm.
song. Parang ganun na yung nangyayari, di ba? Yeah.
Yeah.
All the layers of hue transfer to the song. But what we're talking about are recent shows, like you, 13 Reasons Why, and Sex
Oh.
Education, the songs that the shows that we mentioned earlier, they are all recent. Pero
Mhm.
what about our faves from our childhood?
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, from our childhood. Okay, I'm gonna go first again because my favorite song from a TV show that I loved as a child, or maybe until now, if there's the show on Netflix, sana meron on Netflix.
Wow.
Superhero by
Go.
Rocksteddy. Superhero by Rocksteddy from Super Ingo.
Uy, crush ko si Makisig Morales. Wala lang. I'm just putting it out
No,
there.
tama. No,
I
not
like
really
you.
hard to get to understand. Moreno King, tall and
Oh,
everything. He's a great actor.
right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, I just love
Basta
Super
pa si
Ingo
Super
as a
Inggo.
kid. Yeah. Pero yeah, I love Super Ingo as a kid kasi for me personally, I think out
Mhm.
of all the fantasy teleseries back in 2008, no, those times, 2010, before 2010, all of the fantasy teleseries of that time, I think Super Ingo is the most creative one, the best one. Sorry
Oh.
for the Kung Fu Kid slander, pero that's basically a Karate Kid ripoff ng ABS-CBN. Yeah, I think lang Super Ingo is the best out of all the fantasy teleseries of the 2000s. Especially when you have Sam Concepcion, very dashing, Sam Concepcion as Boy Bawang, and Catherine
And the
Bernardo
Queen.
as Babes, as Maya
Tama.
the Babes. Yeah, it was actually her teleserye debut in ABS-CBN. Super Ingo.
Oh, siya yung ano, hindi mo nga ako babe. Parang,
Yeah, di ba nga
yeah.
ako babe? Tama.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Powerful women.
So, from my childhood naman, I think one of my favorites would have to be Jezebel. Tas super ganda rin kaya ng Siya Na Nga Kaya ni Julian San Jose. Mermaid,
Wait, si
mermaid.
Julian San Jose yung kumanta nun? How old
Mm-mm.
how old is Julian San Jose? Isn't she like 12 during Jezebel was aired? Or that's just my mind doing things with me?
Maybe you don't know the real age of Julian San Jose. Baka na Fountain of Youth na si Mare.
Yeah. When I think of Julian San Jose, I think she's just close to my age, which is I'm not gonna mention.
Baka pwede ka na rin mag-sing ng Siya Na Nga Kaya.
Nor, nor. I only sing ito na si Cardo. That's all. I'm I'm down for that kind of genre. Pero
Let's
ako
start.
when
Mm.
I was a kid, I'm more of a Marina stan.
Godin
Yeah,
Barreto.
yeah, instead of a Jezebel stan.
Understandable.
Kapamilya kami eh. And I think the main difference between Marina and Jezebel, I think Jezebel, she doesn't have the shell
Yung bra
underwear,
na
shell
shell.
bra. Yeah,
Oo.
she doesn't have that because she only covers her chest with her hair.
Ang hair
Pero
naman.
Marina, she has the aerial the aerial bra. Yeah.
True. Legit na
Yeah.
Little Mermaid si Marina. Yeah.
True. Rip off ABS-CBN, ah. Joke.
Paparutan namin kayo. Okay. So because of the connection that we bridge between, the TV shows and ourselves,
Mm,
I think we tend to make the OSTs and musical scores, parang they're part of this personal life soundtrack that I think in our minds, meron.
yeah. While our besties are thinking of their life soundtrack, let's have a short break first.
Yes, water break muna. Drink your water, B.
Drink your
We'll be back
water.
after some words from our sponsors.
Curious about the Comrade's life? Join our resident members together with some of our dearest alumni as they talk about their LB experiences, steamy gossip, and after college stories as communication arts graduates. Only here on Com Arts Talk, a podcast by the UPLB Com Art Society. Catch it every Saturday, 7 p.m. on Spotify. Make sure to follow us on all our social media accounts at UPLB Com Arts Talk. Tara, kwentuhan na!
The UPLB Commerce Society. Basta Commerce Talk?
Oh my god, bestie, we talk a lot about music on TV, and to be honest, I want this to be a little bit much longer. Pero
Mhm.
unfortunately, this is just all the time we have for this episode. But don't fret, besties, don't fret, because we still have a lot of fun stuff in store for you this season.
True.
Mm,
So, to wrap things up, TV shows may be a visuals dominated medium,
Yep.
but it would not be the same without the music that accompanies it and adds character to it.
True. So next time when you watch your favorite Netflix series or if you torrent it, it's okay then. Take your time to observe how music does something different to certain take your time to observe how music does something different to certain scenes or even a whole show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like, don't be shy. Keep your Shazam at bay for songs you might want to add to the OST of your life.
And I just hope that they have Shazam for Android because
Download nyo na.
I hope they have Shazam for Android because I'm an Android user since I don't know grade 6. Okay, so let us know your favorite OSTs as well by interacting on our socials.
That is at the UPLB Jocks on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify.
And besties, thank you for joining us for the first episode of Jog Tune Season 3. And stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way because there are a lot, as in a lot of content, as in,
Tama.
ang dami.
Ang dami. Okay. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for more Jock Tunes in the following weeks. Milo and Carson, also known as the resident Buzz and Woody, will take us down memory lane as they take on music from our favorite cartoons.
True. If you haven't seen Milo and Carson, they really
Like
look like
together.
Buzz and Woody, yeah.
Tama.
And also, besties, reminder to get vaccinated if you can, if it's available in your area. And please also vote responsibly in the upcoming elections. Have a healthy discussion and please educate your friends and family. Don't have a fight with them. Educate them. Yeah, during these times, we need more allies than enemies. So yun, educate, don't hate. Sabi nga nila.
Don't hate. Ang Galing. Okay, so once again, we are Archie and Katie, and this is Good Music Makes Good TV.
Giving you the best of music, this is the UPLB Jocks.
Jockchin Season 3, Good Music Makes Good TV is directed by Bianca Mendiola and Alex Peña. Written and hosted by Gwenda Lisay and Gerald Oliva. Edited by Kyla Concepcion, Kate Rianake, and Kath Valiena. Copywritten by Iris Ramoto. Voiced over by Paul De Rosario and Bianca Custodio.